Hello and welcome to Sports Zone. I'm your host, Matt McEwan. Price, Olympic gold and silver medalist, in studio with us. Brian, thank you for joining us. So back to those three characteristics that you listed. Can you dive into those a little further? You know, with your battle with cancer, how did you build them? And you know, at that time in your life, what did they mean?
Well, determination is an easy one, right?
Of course.
It's basis.
On that point with the determination, not knowing where that was, what's going through your head at that age, especially? I mean, when you grow up, when you mature a little bit, you understand it a little more. Yeah. You understand what's happening, but at that age, not knowing where the finish line is, how's that affect you? What drew you to that? I mean, I know everyone has that. For me, I wanted to be a quarterback, and I have the one image of John Elway, diving over the top and getting kind of helicoptered. Yeah. That's that image that every time I'm on the football field, I say, that's why I'm here. That's what I wanted. What do you have for that? Is there one image that you have?
Yeah, it's kind of
Brian,
a funny one too.
You brought along your gold and silver medal here. I know we don't know each other too well yet, and you may get this a lot. Can I touch them?
Absolutely. Yes.
This is a
Sweet Peas mud bog, ready to take my turn through the course. A couple people told me I may be a little overdressed for the event. By the end of the day, we'll see if I can make this mine. You said you wanted to thank a couple people before we finish this?
Yes. My coach, Ryan Lapadat, and his girlfriend, also my friend, Kathleen McLeod, and Team Six Pack.
Team Six Pack. I don't think I'm a part of that team. What is the Wilks score?
It's a calculation between your weight and the amount of weight that you actually lift, and yeah.
You can just say it's something. You can say it's something you wouldn't understand. You don't lift, obviously. What did you do here in Orangeville, prior to going away to school?
Yeah, great question, Matthew. I was really a concert band kid, played piano, really wanted to be a rock star and a musician when I was growing up here. Orangeville had just started a high school rowing program at that point, and actually a few of my friends were involved, and they invited me to come out, and I said, no way, I'm not getting up that early in the morning.
Now, the little title below your name doesn't say Sarah Bonikowski rock star.
I know.
Not unfortunately,
but hometown, it's pretty special.
You're a celebrity in the town now.
I'd like to think I am, yeah.
Well, you're a celebrity
now,
here, Travis. How knowledgeable your hockey history is here, but being the Orangeville Flyers, you can kind of compare yourself to the Philadelphia Flyers a little bit here, right? So. Yeah. Would you say that, do you remember the Broad Street Bullies, the 1970s Flyers, and, you can look at the Legion of Doom line. Yeah. Would you compare, is there an Alder Street Bullies here?
I'd like to think there is, yeah. People, you want teams coming in and being scared to play you. I don't think we're there yet. And
you don't have a Bobby Clark slashing anyone?
We don't have one wanting to fight all the time. We're more of a skilled team.
You constantly hear in sports that there's two kinds of leaders. There's that guy who's, talking, who's screaming, yelling in everyone's face. But then you've got that silent guy who just, lets his actions do the speaking for him. Which of the two would you say you are?
Well, definitely more the latter. I wouldn't say I'm silent particularly, but I definitely try to make sure my play.
In your lacrosse career. Can you tell me about your relationship with Terry Sanderson? I know that he played a major role in bringing you to the Toronto Rock. So can you share the relationship you guys had?
Well, I guess the relationship started about 1976 when we were teammates for a senior team in Fergus.
So now moving into your Orangeville success, you were just inducted into the Orangeville Sports Hall of Fame. And I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit, but the plaque with your name on it read, championship coach in hockey and lacrosse, in minor, junior, and professional, for both men and women. So, from the sounds of that, it sounds like you've seen it all. You've coached it all. What did that mean to you?
Well, I was honored by it. It kind of came out of left field for me, because
promises to be delightful. I'm Matt McEwan, and I'll be your host for Rogers' coverage of tonight's OHL matchup between the Oshawa Generals and the Flint Firebirds. Now, the Generals will be looking to exact a little bit of revenge on the Firebirds for the 4-3 shootout loss earlier this season in Flint. Setting aside the differences, these two teams do share some common ground, as both teams are fresh off losses to the Saginaw Spirit. But that's enough from me. I'm going to send it up to Shane and Adam for their thoughts on tonight's game. That he did. Now, Will, both your parents are badminton Olympians. How did you escape the racket sports and get yourself on the ice?
Well, I played multiple sports when I was younger, and badminton was one of them. It was really fun. I liked it a lot, and my parents told me that playing 2 sports really helps, and it really did. But I really liked hockey and sticked with it, and still love the game.
You seem to be pretty good at hockey, so I definitely advise staying with it. Last question. Welcome back to the GM Center. I'm Matt McEwan, joined by Jack Studnicka. Jack, you got your first OHL goal in the last game. Talk about that. How good was that to get the monkey off your back?
Yeah, obviously I've always wanted.
Absolutely. Now, flip-flopping going on in the Firebirds net, one goalie to the other. How does that change your offensive game plan?
Yeah, I think it means we just got to get more pucks to the net. The goalies are a little cold. There's some of them may not have warmed up. So, if we get more chances here in the third, I think it's just putting pucks on the net.
Now it appears Brendan Johnson was not cold coming into that second period. He's been stopping everything, left, right, center. How do you solve Brendan Johnson in this third period?
I think it's just consistency. We got to keep putting the puck in the net, like I said. He's making some great saves. We just got to keep doing things, and eventually one will go in.
Perfect. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. Congratulations on your first goal. First question here, Michael Dal-Cole, one of the last cuts from Team Canada. How do you think he responds?
Well, Michael Dal-Cole so far in his return to the OHL.
He had a great second period. Now, I mentioned pre-game, the last meeting between these two teams ended in a 4-3 shootout. Now, what I didn't mention was the player walkout that occurred after the owner, Rolf Nilsson, fired the entire coaching staff. Do you think that distraction has continued to linger over this Flint Firebirds team?
I think it's got to be there.
Welcome to Oshawa, Ontario, where it's already been a busy day at the GM Center. Here's exclusive footage from this morning of Michael Dal-Cole leaving the arena, headed to Kingston to join the Frontenacs. Now, coming westbound along the 401, among some draft picks, is forward Robbie Burt, who will be in the lineup for today's matchup against the Sudbury Wolves, which is live here on Rogers TV. Hi everyone, I'm Matt McEwan, and I'd like to start off by wishing everyone a very happy new year. As you just heard, the Oshawa Generals started their 2016 by trading away captain Michael Dal-Cole. For more on the trade, here's Mike and Shane. Now Ryan, seeing your 9th game with the Sudbury Wolves coming over from London, tell me about the change. Tell me about this new opportunity here in Sudbury. Goal there in the first period.
They believe in me here.
With your guys' recent struggles, not a great season for you guys. How important was it today with a lot of the talk being Michael Dal-Cole? How important was it to come in and get that first goal?
Yeah, these guys are just one place ahead.
A late second period goal to give the Oshawa Generals a 2-1 lead over the Sudbury Wolves. I'm joined now by newly acquired Oshawa General Robbie Burt. Robbie, I'd like to start off by welcoming you to Oshawa. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're very excited for the future. Now, what are your thoughts driving down the 401 this morning after you learned you've just been traded to the Oshawa Generals?
Yeah, it's a short trip.
I can understand the excitement. It's a new opportunity, new chance for you to get some more playing time. Now, I know you took a bit of a tough double minor there in the first period, but what's the first impression you want to leave on not only your teammates, but all these General fans? Good. Now, Robbie, with you being traded for a guy like Michael Dal-Cole, it's a big name. Is there any added pressure on that you put on yourself personally for that, or any pressure you feel from the outside about that?
Well,
I don't think I'd be doing my job here if I didn't open this up with some Michael Dal-Cole talk. So, I mean, he's heading to Kingston, first place in the East. What does he do for this Kingston Frontenacs team?
Well, I think he starts to really turn his season.
Absolutely, and that playoff experience is huge, right? So let's take a look at the other side of that deal then. Robbie Burt coming over, first impressions.
But not the Wolves.
So far,
definitely showing the physicality out there today. Now, let's take a look at the other General that's missing from the lineup today, Mitchell Van de Sample. Let's talk about what are your guys' thoughts on the indefinite suspension handed out to him?
I think it's really...
I'm joined by OCAA leading scorer Lindsay Panchin. Lindsay, with your guys' last game, tough loss in overtime to Seneca. Do you feel there's any fatigue carrying over from that game into this first half?
I don't believe it's
touching on a
fatigue.
point you just brought up, you guys are a team. You like to push the tempo. It's created, some sloppy plays, some turnovers, and some missed opportunities. Is Coach LaFontaine going to continue to encourage you guys to keep pushing, or the second half we're going to see maybe a little bit more of a half-court set? As I mentioned, you are the leading scorer in the OCAA, Lindsay. Personally, now, you've been a bit of a distributor this first half. Do you think, do you maybe need to put team on your shoulders a little bit here, start scoring a little more, take a few more shots in the second half?
I definitely